Autumn is here. A year has gone by. A year with different experiences and different happenings, both joyful and sorrow. With sorrow, me and my husband tried to have a sibling for our son for about a year, and we experienced 2 miscarriages. And we learned that children are not a thing you can take for granted. But this summer, in August, our daughter was born. Her name is Agnes Lily Madeleine Rondal. And I've named this podcast and you partly of her, but also from my grandmother who was called Lily. So I'm back. I think my English is not good, and this is a weird thing to do, to watch yourself and film yourself, but I like to edit and I like to knit, and I like to share what I'm doing, so we'll do this anyway. Well, as I said in the beginning, it's been a whole year, and I am happily, lovingly having and caring for my daughter. She's just wonderful. And this time, with this newborn, I'm loving knitting even more. I don't know why. Kind of. Well, I really am thankful that we finally got our prayer answered and had a child that we so much wanted, a sibling for our son. So since last episode, about a year ago, I finally crocheted and finished the Be My Baby blanket. I'll show you a clip. So here it is, my finally finished crocheted piece for Agnes. It's the beautiful and gorgeous Be My Baby blanket. You can see me crochet a couple of pieces from it in a few of the other episodes before. This was kind of a long pain in the ass, but I'm so proud of it, and it was gorgeous. There is some unsewed crocheted flowers and some bees with the wings and the pathways. Well, really proud of it, and I've used it a whole lot of times for my daughter. She's really warm, but it's heavy and nice, and she feels safe in it. So yeah. And yeah, one thing, I've used a smaller needle for this than the pattern calls for. So and it wasn't intentions. It just was. I thought the what do you say? The stitches was too airy, so that was the reason why I changed down to I think it was 2.25. So the measurement called for was smaller, so I had to add some more, a whole lot of more hexagons. So when the pattern maybe ends here, I added those 2 more rows and yeah, and all of this. But I'm really satisfied. It's big and gorgeous. You see, I don't really like and don't really enjoy crocheting. I just like the finished result. So I hammered on and did the blanket until it was finished, and I really enjoy the finished result. But when I was finished, I finally got to knit. I felt free. I felt that knitting is my thing. So I started to do, well, actually I began to knit on it. I think it was in February, but it had to pause because I really wanted to finish the baby blanket. So, but I started on this, the bonnet. It's a lace pattern that's quite complicated, and I've knitted it in Holst tights. Really love the old rose color, and I just had one nystan on Swedish. I'll translate it here, but it lasts forever. And so I knitted some mittens for her without thumb in my own design, without picot edging. You knit a double and you make yarn overs, and then I've made a lateral braid and some yarn overs knit two together to make this lace pattern. I'm thinking about making a version for a pattern and laying out in Ravelry, but that is a new thing and I'm thinking about it, so have patience with me. You can write down below if you really want the pattern and I will fix it in sometimes, in quite a bit, because it's tough being parent for two small children, especially with a 3-year-old. You who have or have had a 3-year-old, you maybe know what I mean. Between the mittens, I've knitted a simple I-cord too, so she don't lose them if they come off her fingers. And then I think it's cute to have some thing in her hair. She doesn't have that much hair that you can tie it in a hair band or something, but I have made a little thing for her head. Just came up with the design in my head, but I think there is some, yeah, a whole lot of versions of this one on Ravelry. I have the best machine ever to make I-cords, so I don't have to make it myself. Just weave and weave and weave, and that's good. So Agnes bonnet, what do you call this? Yeah, I write the word bit down below, and some mittens for her. And I love knitting for her. That was why I renamed this podcast, because I think I'm going to knit quite a lot for her, and I want to, as I said, remember my grandma, because she was the one who inspired me for knitting. She has, in my childhood, she knitted a lot of socks for her whole family of all the yarn leftovers she had. Sometimes they look quite funny, but they were functional. And I got all her knitting needles when she died. Unfortunately, it was all the jumper knitting needles who is this long, and now I don't use them at all, because the wonderful hias and all the... Well, I have something planned for knitting also. I have almost knitted and finished a vest for her. It is a vest pattern. I'll name it down here. I don't know who's knitted it, but as I said, I will write it down here. And I think it will keep her warm and complement the clothes she already have. She had got a lot of clothes from all the people around here. She is really loved, and we are appreciated. I think, because she have clothes that I don't know if I'm going to have the time to use before she grow up. But it's not very many things that are warm, and now outside it's really cold, and the autumn is really here now. So I want to knit some warm hats for her. A while ago I won a kit with yarn and pattern to knit a dress for her. It's a children's dress with blue yarn. It's this one, which is called Carmine Super Soft, and some complementing colors, among them a blue color. And that reminded me of a hat on Ravelry. I'll insert it here. And I thought I would knit that, but that was a spring hat. So I bought yarn for that hat that I'm going to knit for the spring, and embroidery some beautiful flowers that the pattern has. And now in the autumn I'm going to knit an autumn hat, and I just love the autumn colors, and I had trouble to decide what color I was going to knit it in, so I bought 2 colors. Maybe I will do mittens in one color and the hat in another color, but we'll see. It is this Sannes mini alpaca, and the color is forest green somehow. It's number, just a number. And the other one is the beautiful yellow one. This one. I realized that my favorite color is yellow. So I'm going to knit that hat, this one, and we'll see what kind of mittens or mitts I'm going to do. Now instead of following the pattern I've won in the kit, I'm doing the anemone dress for her. It's I think I've chose the 6 months size, and I'm knitting it in US 2.75 millimeter needle, and yeah, it takes some time because it's real thin yarn, but I think it's going to be gorgeous. It has like a flower in the middle, and then you have like leaves on the stomach, on the chest, and a really nice, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. And then I wanted to knit some socks for her, some really woolly trousers for her, because it gets chilly here in the southwest of Sweden. Yeah, there are a lot of things I want to knit. Among all, among all other things for her, I wanted to finish my cardi from Gudrun Johnston. I thought I started it 2 years ago, but it's still waiting. As I said, I love autumn colors, so I wanted to knit the Oslo hat. I couldn't decide. Maybe I will knit 2 hats if I had time in Filkonana Arveta. This is the color will not be the same on the camera, but it's kind of darker in the reality. Filkonana Arveta. This is the color bronze, I think, or metallic, and this one, gorgeous color avocado, I think was called. So 2 Oslo hats, hoping to at least make 1. And then I have all the things to sew for my little creativity thing called Pinetrees and Lilies, that I'm selling in the local crafty shop in Österbymo. You can find some, if you want to look it up. I have a homepage called pinetreesandlilies.com. You can find what and see what I'm making. Unfortunately, I don't have it on in English, but you can find and click on the Swedish words and maybe find your way and see what I'm making. If you're really interested, I can have something sent to you. I'm making knitting markers if you're interested. So go check it out and follow me on Instagram. It's pinetrees and lilies. Well, I think that was all for now. I just wanted to make a short one and say hi, here I am again, and this has happened. I've had a daughter finally, one more child that we really long for. She wants attention. Well, I just want to finish to say that I really enjoy living here in Ydre. I find more and more happiness in the forests around and the lakes and the gorgeous people around here. It's a really small town, towns and villages around here, but everyone knows everyone. And I was in the movies. Wait, we'll take a little break. Well, I was at the movies this Sunday and saw a Downton Abbey movie. Wonderful movie, by the way, and I find it so joyful and wonderful to see that the man who's sitting in the local medicine store now is at the desk taking care of the payments of the tickets for the movie, and everyone knows everyone, and I think it's just wonderful. I found so much love in kind of way. The people in the store says hi and congratulations when they saw my daughter, and they know who one is, and although you don't speak to each other that much, somehow I find that people have a care for each other, and that you know each other, and it's a whole good thing and a different thing from living in the big city. Someday we're going to move to Gotland, where my husband is from, but just not right now. Our landlord is also building out our house. I'll show you some pictures. I'm going to have my own beloved sewing room to have my creative things in. So this is a place that we really enjoy living. Don't hesitate to visit if you have some time over, if you pass this way. Well, I think this is all. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and you can find me on these places. It's easy like this. And I will say thank you for watching. Hope you will follow me. I hope more people will discover my channel, and bye.
You make me feel like I've come home. You've got a beautiful soul. If I'm feeling alone, I just remember your song. Oh.